Hello and welcome to this Friday's afternoon lesson with me, Richie, here on the AM Language YouTube channel. As always, if you're new, make sure you subscribe and like the video. If you want to follow the lesson, make sure you do so by following the conversation in the live chat section of the lesson. And it doesn't matter if you're watching now or later, it all happens in the live chat area. So make sure you follow the lesson there. I hope you're all doing well on the last Friday of January. Can you believe it? We are already at the end of January 2021. Sandro, guten Tag, and welcome to today's lesson. Thank you very much for joining. Arena F, Privyet, and welcome to today's lesson. Thank you for joining, as always. In today's lesson, we are looking at stuck for words, keeping the conversation going. Sometimes we end up not really knowing what word to use, or sometimes we forget the word that we want to use. So we need to find some useful ways that we can try and help ourselves out of this problem. And that's what we are going to look at today. I must apologize for my hair. It's definitely full on, I don't know what anymore. I don't know, I'm in lockdown at the moment. So there's no hairdresser. So I don't know what the state of my hair is going to look like at the end. I don't know, I could be Frodo Baggins or Wolverine from X-Men, one of the two at this point. Anyway, I'll give people a little bit more time to join the lesson, and then we shall begin. I would like to say, guys, that from next week, I'm very excited about this. From next week, there will be some new material that I will be uploading to the AM Language channel. Next week will be the first week of many weeks where you will get to see short little explanation videos. So make sure from next week you look out for these really nice short little videos. Hopefully, I'm hoping to release one once a week, and then that should build up a nice collection over a period of time. They're going to be, we'll cover for all levels, from beginner all the way to upper intermediate and advanced over the period of time. But that is going to start next week. So make sure you look out for that video. Sandra says that time flies. Yes, time does fly. Time is one of those weird things where there's moments in life where you think, oh my gosh, when will this end? Time is moving so slowly. And then other times where you just think to yourself, whoa, time has flown by really quickly. There's not enough time for anything anymore. Of course, time hasn't changed. It's just our perception. But it's one of those funny things. Evelina, buon pomeriggio, and welcome to today's lesson, and good afternoon. Alida, good afternoon as well. Buenos dias. I'm sure the weather is probably quite nice in Patagonia at this time of year. Leondina says, hi, Richard. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Leondina. Buon pomeriggio. Okay, so now there's a good number of us. We shall get into today's lesson. But first of all, I'm going to play a little game with you guys. I am going to pretend like I have forgotten a word. And I'm going to try and describe the word. And you guys need to try and guess what word I am describing. So, for example, if I say something like, oh, what's it called? A place that's quite big. A king and queen would live in this big place. You guys would end up thinking to yourself, okay, so what is this? Maybe it's a castle, for example, or a palace. And you would tell me your answer in the live chat. So we're just going to start off with a little game whereby you guys need to try and guess what word I am trying to describe. Okay. This game is called What's It Called? Okay, which is what we actually end up saying in English when we forget something. What is it called? So when we forget a word in English, we're going to say, "Oh, what's it called?" Another thing we might say is it's or that. Actually, I'll come to that one later. For now, we'll just concentrate on this one. Okay, so what's it called? Okay, let's go for it. Let's start off with. Okay. Oh, what's it called? What's it called in English? It's water. It's not the sea. It's not a river. It's something in between a river and the sea. Oh, they can be big, they can be small. Leondina has come in with lake. If you think I'm describing a lake, let me know if you agree. There are one or two other possibilities, but you guys seem to be agreeing on with lake, and that happens to be the answer. So well done. Excellent. Okay. Let's go for the next one. Okay, round two. Oh, do you have that thing? What's it called? You use it to open cans. Like you might have a can of tomatoes, a can of beans. Oh, it's a kitchen thing that you like you clip on, you twist, and it opens the metal can. Oh, what's it called? What's it called in English? Yeah, you okay. So Alida's coming with a tin opener. Do you agree with Alida? Am I describing a tin opener? Okay, you're all agreeing with tin opener. Okay, the answer is you've got two options. It depends. You can go with can or you can go with tin opener. Okay, well done. Yes. Okay, right. I'm now going to go for now I'm going to move away from a noun. I'm going to go with an adjective here. Okay. Yeah, the film was scary, but it was more than scary. It was oh, what's the word in English for something that's really scary? I mean, it wasn't scary good. It was scary bad. But I can't remember the word. What's it called? Something that's very scary. It's not good. It's a bad scary. I absolutely hated it. Absolutely hated it. Oh, what's it called? Um, it's on the tip of my tongue. That's when you can nearly remember it. Okay, so Leondina says dreadful, which could work. Alida said terrifying. That could work as well. I would also accept potentially. Um, ooh, horrific. Okay, some good ones there. You could even combine one or two. You could say something like absolutely terrifying if you wanted to. But yeah, I mean, look, I was thinking of the word terrifying, but to go with horrific or horrifying, that's another one actually. You could go terrifying. You could have gone with horrifying, dreadful. If you go with dreadful, you could make it into an adverb and say dreadfully. It was dreadfully horrifying, for example. Weird, Sandra says, weird. If you go for weird, you can say, I think with this one, you might need an adverb. like uncomfortably weird. Because you've got, I mean, uncomfortably or comfortably is a good adverb to put in front of these sort of words. Good, well done. Let's go with the next one. Okay. Oh, you know what he is? Oh, what's it called when someone is just rude? They love themselves. They really think they know what they're talking about. They always have to be right. And he doesn't even know very much. That's the other thing. He really doesn't know anything, and he thinks he can just say what he likes. It's not confident. I know he's confident, but I'm not thinking of the word confident. I'm thinking of uh, that sort of thing that some people have. Um, like sometimes it's not always a bad thing, because like Cristiano Ronaldo is known to be a bit like this, except he's actually good at what he does. John isn't. Okay, so Sandra's come in with arrogant. Let's see if you guys agree with Sandra that I was going with arrogant. Alida's gone with smug, which is actually quite closely related in some contexts. I would accept both. The answer, conceited, conceited. Yes, that's a really good one, actually. The word I was actually thinking of, it was arrogant. However, to come out with words like smug and conceited, really good. I would say on the subject of conceited, for those of you who might not know this word, conceited is that moment where you're talking to someone and they're so full of pride that they don't want to think for one moment that they could be wrong. The idea of being wrong is, it doesn't come to their mind, and that's what you would describe as someone being conceited. But a good word though. Smug, yeah, potentially quite smug as well. Okay, let's go with one more for now, and then we'll introduce the next thing that I want to show you. I'm going to go with. Okay, let's go with sticking with an adjective. Okay, so I'm going to go with this one. You know what? It was a really good holiday, but just saying really good, like it was a really good holiday, isn't enough. It was more than that. I don't want to say amazing. I'm trying to think of a slightly better word. I mean, it was just a wonderful holiday. Sandra's gone with fantastic. Let's see. I mean, look, there could be quite a few options here. If you agree with Sandra, let me know. If you have another idea, let me know as well. I mean, it was a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Yeah. Okay, so gripping, Alida's gone with as well. Okay, all of these could potentially be correct. The word I was thinking of, okay, marvelous, awesome. Olga, good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson. If this is your first time, make sure you subscribe and like the video. Thank you for joining us on Friday afternoon. So the answer that I was thinking of was good. There we go. Terrific. Okay, so it was a terrific holiday, a really great holiday, synonym to awesome, marvelous, fantastic. Gripping, potentially. I think gripping might be a little bit more for entertainment wise. Olga says, I'm subscribed. Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Olga. Alda says epic. Alida says epic. Yeah, a lot of things could be epic, and epic would be a good one to describe a holiday. Okay, so let's look at some tricks. Okay, so when you forget the word, okay, number two, okay, of this. So we started up off with the question, oh, what's it called? Okay. The next one, and this one is a very English thing. I don't know. I think the Americans use it. The Brits definitely use it. I mean, I use it a lot. It's a really strange spelling as well. Very, very strange spelling. Um, Believe it or not, this is a word in English. Okay, it's called thingamajig. Thingamajig. Okay, thingamajig. Thingamajig. Now the g actually we don't pronounce. We fly over the g. Thingamajig. Thingamajig. It's that thingamajig. Um, the If I was to break down this pronunciation, it would be thing. Not really a g. Thingamajig. Thin. Uh, ma Jig. Okay, that's how you pronounce it. Thingamajig. That thingamajig. 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 Okay, thingamajig. That thingamajig. Now a thingamajig can be anything. Okay, it can be a person's name, object, um, any noun really that you have forgotten. Thingamajig. And this can save you because as long as people have an idea or know what you're talking about, so as long as the context has been made clear, if you forget the name of something, just use thingamajig and people will know what you mean as long as they know what the context is. So this is called thingamajig. I use it a lot, especially if I'm having a very slow day. So, for instance, I could be saying, "Oh, where am I? That thingamajig that you wear. What's it called? Oh, glasses, for example. Thingamajig. Oh, where's my thingamajig? And you can make it a plural, actually. You can make it a plural. You can say thingamajigs, for example, like if you're talking about your keys, for example. So it's a really good one to know. So we're going to do a similar activity, this time only nouns. And I'm going to say, oh, what's that thingamajig? Okay, so the next question is, um, actually, it's going to, oh, uh, and this is important. You've got to give a context. So if you're talking about cooking and you're talking about something that you use to cook, you need to say, oh, it's that thingamajig that you use when cooking eggs, for example. You've got to give a context. As long as you give a context, you can use thingamajig. Thingamajig. So let's have a go. Right, let's go with this. Um, let's see, actually. This one could be a little bit difficult. Um, Not everyone gets this, but it's a good one to know. So if you don't know this one, this is a good one to learn. So let's go for it, okay? Oh, where's that thing? It's that thingamajig that you use when cooking pasta, and you need to pour the pasta and the water into this thingamajigger, and the water goes through, but you catch the pasta. Oh yeah, you drain the pasta. What's it called? That thingamajigger, or that thingamajig? Actually, that thingamajig. that you use to drain water when you've cooked pasta? What's that thingamajig called? What's that thingamajig called? Okay, leaders come in with strainer. Some of you have come in with a colander. Okay, I mean, look, there are potentially more than one correct answers here because the actual thing has more than one name. So I'll accept a few ones. If you're going with colander, don't forget colander has one L. Sandra says there's a name in German. We call this Dingsbums. Really? Dingsbums. Do you say the G? Or is it dingbums? Or is it dingsbums? Let me know about the pronunciation. Wait a minute. So is this seriously called a dingsbums? Dingsbums. I'm really curious now. Oh, thingbums. Okay, I see. So thingamajig is in German is dingbums, I think. Well, the answer, guys, you've got a few possible answers here. With the G, but you like you. With G, but you like you. Bing. Oh, right. So bings. Sorry, dingsbums. Dingsbums. Okay, now I've learnt something in German. So, answers. You could have said pasta strainer, or you could have said a colander. Okay, all of those would have been correct. Well done. Okay, let's go with the next one. Um, okay, let's go with. I'm looking for. Oh, I'm looking for this thing in the kitchen. Um, oh, you cook. You don't cook eggs. Well, you can cook eggs in it, but you don't cook. You don't cook in it. You cook on it. Um, Alida says, I also learned what do you call that stuff? Yes, you could use that as well. If you're talking about a plural something of like there's many things you can use that as well. What do you call that stuff? So yes, going back to my thingamajig, it's this thing that you cook in, you don't cook, sorry, it's something you cook on, not cook in. So you're not going to put water on it or anything like that. I mean, I'm not going to cook pasta in it, but it's something else. I might cook like fried eggs on it. What's this thingamajig called? Yeah, I might cook fried eggs. I might cook bacon, steak. I might do something like I might fry rice, for example. Alida has said pan. Olga has said frying pan. Very good. Both of them are the correct answers. So yes, you can say pan, or if you want the full one, you can say frying pan. Awesome. Good. Okay. Let's go with this next one. Okay. If you don't know this in English, you're about to learn something very useful. Ish. Ish. You can add ish onto just about any word in English. So if you don't know what it is, you can say you just add ish at the end. So, for example, you're looking at a color. You don't know what the color is, but the closest thing you can think of is the color red. So you just add reddish, for example. So then you would end up saying it's not red, but it's reddish. Okay, so ish means kind of. Okay, or sort of. Again, you could use this with time. You could say it was 12ish, for example. This is when you cannot, this is when you don't know the exact answer. You might not know what the answer is, but you just add ish on the end, okay? So, you could do this with a lot of things. And this is just a simple trick. You don't know exactly what it is. You might not even know the vocabulary, but you just add, you take what you're looking at and you just add ish, okay? We do this mainly with, what would we usually do this with? What type of words? Um, we can use it with colors, okay? So we can use it with a lot of adjectives, and we can use it with a lot of nouns as well. So let's see how you guys get on with this. And this one is quite simple. Which one should I use? This is now going to be which one should I use? I'm going to give you the context afterwards, but I'm going to give you the options, okay? Go with the, let's go with this. Okay, so you've got bluish, deepish, Italianish, and cheapish. Okay. You're going to have to link them accordingly. So you got one, two, so you've got number one, number two, number three, number four. Okay. We're going to do one together just so I show you how this works. So I might say something like, yeah, I've got this, I bought this thing. I wouldn't say it was expensive, but it was not really, but quite. Okay. So you would then say, okay, he's talking about money. He's therefore talking about, yes, Sandra, you are correct. D goes with four. Exactly. I'm actually, the there was meant to be cheapish. Okay. And so if we look at cheapish, we're saying it's kind of cheap, but not very cheap. Okay. So that's the important distinction that we need to make. If you're using cheapish, okay, you're saying it's, yes, it's a bit cheap. It's not very cheap, but kind of cheap. Okay. So let's go with the next one. Now that we've done our example. Okay. Yeah, it's the swimming pool. Um, okay, it is okay. The shallow end is shallow. It's very shallow. The other end, it's not very, but it's okay. So that was the next one. I'll do that one again. Okay, so you guys have come in saying two goes with B. Okay, so you're saying two goes with deepish, and you'd be correct. Well done. So it's not actually deep, it's a little bit deep, but not very deep. Good. Okay, we've got two more. Next one. It's not exactly It is. It's a yeah. You could say it's Um, I mean, you've got lots of similar ingredients. The presentation is very similar to that kind of uh, country style, from that kind of country. Um, and yes, it comes with wine as well and some lovely cheese. So you could say it's but it's not exactly Okay, very good. 3C. Yeah, Italian-ish. Good. And that would make the last one bluish. Okay, good. Well done. We don't need to go with that one. That would be a waste of time. Okay, good. Well done, guys. Now, I'm going to give you some, I'm going to give you another activity. I'm going to give you some options, and you need to choose the most appropriate-ish. Okay, you need to link the most appropriate word with ish to complete the sentences. Okay, so your options are going to be um, okay, let's go for it. Okay, number two. Okay, number three. And number four. Oh, no, that was a mistake at the end. Okay, let's see what you guys go for here. So you've got number 1, 2, 3, and 4. A leaders come in with 1C, 2A, 3B, 4D. It's because of the design, but we don't call it that. But is that should be but it is. I'm missing out the it is there, but it is very similar, and you can connect to the internet. 2, I wouldn't say there's a lot of dairy in the dish, but it is 3, I was but not very. I got here within the first 10 minutes, and finally we met around Leondina says 1 is computerish, 2 is creamish, 3 is latish, and 4 is 3:30ish. Okay, so these are the same answers as as a leader, I believe. 1C, 2A, 3B and 4D. Yeah, so these are the same answers. If you agree with Alida and Leondina, let me know in the live chat section. Sandra says that she agrees. And Evelina and Arena F also agree. Good. Okay, so answers. Well done, guys. Yes, that is the correct answer. However, where you would like me to show the answer, I'll give you both examples. Number 2, I think it's dairy. Yes, no, that is meant to be dairy, not diary. That's a typo. But I'm glad that you guys read it correctly. Yes, though it's meant to be dairy, not diary. But yes, that's what the answer is meant to be. Yeah, I mean, look, that's a problem with me when it comes to dairy, like dairy milk, dairy cream, dairy cheese. Just can't have. So if something's creamy-ish, it's a no for me. Okay, guys. So, finally, what if you just want to, what the phrase is in English, buy your time? Okay. Buy your time means give yourself time to think, but without ending the conversation. You have the word on the tip of your tongue. Okay. Now, when you have a word that's on the tip of your tongue, it means you know the first letter. You know what the letter, you know what it begins with. You have an idea of the sound. You just can't complete the word in your head. You just want a little bit of time to think, but you don't want to stop talking. You don't want the silence. If you stop talking, the conversation might end. So, or the flow of the conversation is too badly disrupted. So what do you do? Well, here are some useful phrases. You can go with the first one I would recommend. You could go with a phrase like, usually it's to do with a question of some kind. So if it's a question, you could go with, so the first way you can do, the way you can go about this is you can buy your time. You could come up with 3 separate sort of sentences really to give you to give yourself, you know, a good amount of time. You can say, "Oh, that's an interesting question. I oh, that's sorry. Let me post that again. That should be I haven't, not that I have. I haven't thought about it a lot. I haven't thought a lot about it, or I haven't thought about it a lot. You can change those two around. Let me think. So this is one strategy you can go with. You can say, oh, that's an interesting question. I haven't thought a lot about it. Um, let me think. And then you give your answer. However, that's if someone asks you a question. However, if you are actually the one talking, and you haven't been asked a question, but you're trying to think of what you're going to say next, you can come up with phrases like this. Okay. You can say, you come up with these. And these are questions that you are saying aloud So the person to whom you are speaking knows that you are trying to think of what you're saying, and you're just giving yourself some time. You're saying, um, "Hmm," like you might be talking about something from your country, and you can say, "Well, it's this, it's that, and if you go here, you can find this." And how can I explain? Okay, or what's the best way to describe it? These two phrases, well, these two questions that you ask yourself aloud gives you that buying time. It tells the person that you're trying to think, which is why you say it aloud so the other person knows you're trying to think. So those are also some useful phrases, well, useful questions you ask aloud. You're asking yourself, but it gives you time. Okay, guys. So we've had a look at quite a few things. One of the things I would say is, first of all, very well done today. Take a note of the things that you might find helpful. I suggest if you didn't know about ish, write down ish and start using ish. It really helps. I think thingamajig would have been new to all of you. I would be very surprised if any of you knew the term thingamajig. Make sure you write it down because there's always a moment to use the word thingamajig, as well as what we started off with, which is what's it called. That's a really easy one to remember. Oh, what's it called? So we've had a little look at how you can continue the conversation. You're inviting the person, or you're asking the person in all of these incidences to try and help you with the word that you are looking for, which is how you keep the conversation going, especially ones like thingamajig. So I'd like to say a big thank you to all of you who have participated in today's lesson. Alida, Irina F, Evelina, Sandra, Leondina, Olga, and anyone else who has participated, and everyone else watching. Thank you very much for attending today's lesson and the lessons throughout the week. Leondina says, Thingamajig is really amusing. It is amusing. I would say so. Alida says, Thingamajig is an odd word. I've never heard it. Well, now you have, Alida. Sandra says, thank you, Richard. This was very helpful. You're welcome. Evelina says, have a good weekend. Bye-bye. Arrivederci, Evelina. And Alida says, thanks, Richard. Keep safe. You too, Alida. And Leondina says, thank you, Richard. Have a nice weekend. I will. Thank you. Okay, guys. So thank you so much. I will be back next week at 3 o'clock with another live lesson. So join me then next week. Take care. Have a safe weekend. And bye for now. You too, Irina F.